Now we've dealt with some rational expressions. Now we're going to do rational equations. So we've just got an equation signed involved. And so one of the easiest ways to do this is to just multiply by the least common denominator on both sides. If, like, for example, if they're on the same side, you would want to get a common denominator of -4, right? So you'd multiply this by -2 on both sides, so you'd have 5x plus 11 over -4 equals -14 over -4. Now notice they have a common denominator, so I can clear that out. I can multiply this side by -4, this side by, if I multiply one side by -4, I got to multiply the other side by -4, and now we have a solvable 5x plus 11 equals -14, and we solve that. Divide by 5 on both sides, so x ends up being -5. Make sure you check it into the original equation and make sure it works, right? This one we've got a common denominator of 42, right? So I'd multiply that by 7, 7. This one by 6, 6. That's a common denominator of 7 and 6. So we got 6y plus 2 over 42 equals 7y minus 3 over 42. And then you notice we can multiply both sides by, if I multiply that side by 42, I got to multiply that side by 42. So we end up with 6y plus 2 equals 7y minus 3. Go ahead and distribute that. Get all your y's on one side. Get all your numbers on the other side. And so we've got 12 plus 21, what's that, 33 equals y. So y equals 33. And then again, check it in the original equation. Let me go ahead and have you guys try this one. We'll go ahead and check that into your original. And it's good to go. So far we've done where we have one fraction, right, equals one fraction, right? That's what we've done so far. Now let's do it where, what if it's split up? I got a couple terms. Well, luckily this one already has a common denominator. So what you want to do is you want to get it so you have one fraction equaling one fraction. We have a common denominator, so we can go ahead and combine those. It's 10 minus 6 all over m. So we got 4 over m equals 28. Now I'm solving for m, so I want to go ahead and get my m on top. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply this side by m and this side by m. And what we have is 4 equals 28m. And again, we're solving for m, so get rid of that number now. So m equals 4 over 28, 1/7. And then again, make sure it satisfies the original, which it does. And if you think about the original, the only thing m cannot be, I can't divide by 0, right? And I have an m on the bottom, so m cannot be 0. So I just make sure that's not 0. It's not. It's 1/7. So it'll be good to go if I plug it in and check it. Okay, this one again, we don't have a common denominator. So let's go ahead and get that. Right now this is 1 over 1. It needs an x plus 1. So I've got x plus 1 times 1. And notice on the left-hand side, now that's a common denominator. So I have x plus 1 minus 2 all over this x plus 1. And then combine 1 minus 2. And now I can clear out that denominator. Multiply this side by x plus 1, which means I got to multiply that side by x plus 1, which means we'll have x minus 1 equals 2x. Get all your x's on one side. -1 equals 2x minus 1x is an x. So x is -1. And now let's think about the original rational equation. What can x not be? Remember, x plus 1, we can't divide by 0. That can't be 0. In other words, we can't have it be -1. Right? Same thing over here. It shows us the same thing. X can't be -1. Well, what do we end up with? -1. Well, it can't be -1. It makes the original equation undefined. So we say, well, that's our only option. We didn't have another option for an answer. This is what's referred to as an extraneous solution. It's a solution that appears to be a solution, but it doesn't satisfy the original equation. So we throw it out, and we say, I have no other option. So it's just no solution on this one. Okay? We have you guys try that one. Check this one. So you work through that. It looks like x ends up being -4. I do have to think about the original equation. X cannot be from there. We know x cannot be 0. So -4 will be fine. If you check it in your original equation, it'll work out for you. Okay. This one here, let's go ahead again. The right-hand side, we got to get that to have a common denominator. Our right-hand side on this next one. So notice if I was to factor this, I have x over 4x plus 3 equals 3x minus 8 over x plus 3 minus 3x over 4x plus 3. So this right-hand side, they both have an x plus 3, but this one's missing a 4. So I'm going to give it a 4. Now it'll have a common denominator on that right-hand side. Left-hand side, we're fine. And I'm also going to go ahead and distribute that. I have 12x minus 32 minus the 3x. This is all over that common denominator, 4x plus 3. Now I got one fraction equaling one fraction. I could go ahead, clear out denominator, both sides. So that'll clear those out. And we're left with x equals 12x minus 32 minus 3x. I'm going to combine those. That's 9x minus 32. Solve for x. So 9x minus 9x, I got -8x equals -32. Divide by -8, and I get 4. So our proposed solution on this one is 4. And so if I look in the original equation, see how I have an x plus 3 right there? Whoops, let me do that in red. I have an x plus 3. I know that can't be 0, so x can't be -3. And that 4x plus 12 can't be 0. In other words, x can't be -3 as well on that. So 4 is fine. 4 is fine. All right. All right, let me have you guys try this one. Go ahead and check that out with your try it problem. So we should end up with 42 over 5 on that one. And then check it, notice in the original, x can't be -3. I would be dividing by 0. Same thing right there. X can't be -3. So 42/5 will check out. It'll be fine for you. All right. Now here our denominator would be x times 2x plus 63. So I'm going to go ahead and just multiply this side by x and that side by x. And then I'm going to multiply this side by 2x plus 63 and 2x plus 63. In other words, we multiplied both sides by the common denominator. And now we're just solving a quadratic. Well, to solve a quadratic, we got to get one side equal to 0. So we got 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 63. And then we go ahead and we factor that. So x minus 9 equals 0, x plus 7 equals 0. So it looks like -7 and plus 9 plus 9. 9. So 9 and -7 are our proposed solutions. I go to the original and I say, well, x can't be 0 from right there. And 2x plus 63 can't be 0. In other words, x cannot be -63 over 2 either. So both of these are fine. 9 and -7 on that. I'm going to have you guys try this one. Let's go ahead and check yourself on this one. So like once you multiply both sides by x, and then I multiply both sides by that 7x plus 30. In other words, we're multiplying both sides by the common denominator, right? And then we have a quadratic, 2x squared equals 7x plus 30 divided minus 7x both sides minus 30 both sides. Factor that thing, and it looks like negative 5 halves and 6 are our proposed solutions. We do need to think about the original. There's an x in the original. Oops. There's an x in the original right there. So x can't be 0. And from that one, 7x plus 30 can't be 0. So x can't be negative 30 over 7 either, right? So it looks like these two solutions are safe, right? They're fine. They're fine. If you guys try this one, got the negative 7 and 4. Again, you're checking. Make sure that those check out. X can't be 0. And x cannot be negative 28 over 9 as well. So those will both be fine on that. Okay, let's keep going on this one here. I'm going to go ahead and write this in factored form. Factor x squared minus 64. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this x minus 8. X plus 8. So if I do it to this side, I got to do it to this side. So we've got 2x minus 8, x plus 8. I've got an x minus 8 equals 1. Right? Notice these x minus 8s, they do cancel. And we know from the original, x can't be 8 anyways, right? So we've got 2 x plus 8 over x equals 1. Now let's get that x out of there from the denominator. Multiply both sides by x. So we've got 2x plus 8 equals x. I'm going to go ahead and solve that. Solve for x. X plus 16 equals 0. Subtract 16 both sides. So negative 16 on this thing. And make sure you check the original. The original says, because this is x minus 8. The original x can't be 0, x can't be 8. Same thing here, 8 or negative 8 from that x squared minus 64. So the only solution is x equaling negative 16. Okay. Do another one here, and then we'll try getting this. Let's go ahead and get a common denominator. So I'm going to give this x minus 3 bottom and top so that I can combine those on the right-hand side. So I have 6 over x minus 3 equals negative 2x minus 3 plus the 8. And these are all over that common denominator, x minus 3, x plus 5. And now we can clear out. Let's go ahead and multiply both sides by x minus 3, x plus 5. This becomes 6. Notice the x minus 3's cancel there. Equals, and I'm going to go ahead and distribute that. Negative 2x plus 6 plus 8. And I'm going to distribute that. 6x plus 30 equals negative 2x plus 6 plus 8 plus 14. Now I'm going to solve for x. So this is 6x plus 2x. I got 8x plus 30 equals 14. Again, solve for x. Divide by 8. So I get negative 2. Check it in the original. Make sure x can't be 3. X can't be 3. X can't be negative 5 either. So that negative 2 works out for us. Okay. Go ahead, try that one. Go ahead, work through that one again. Make sure you check it. Check that negative 15 halves of the original. X can't be 6. X can't be negative 8/3 either. So it looks like that negative 15 over 2, bless you, will simplify. Or I'm sorry, will be good for you as far as the solution is concerned. Right? Now this one, we got to get that left-hand side to have a common denominator, so I got to give this a y plus 1. I got to give this one a y minus 1. So this left-hand side, I will then have a common denominator of y plus 1, y minus 1. And over here, notice I have y squared minus 1 on the right-hand side denominator, so that'll factor into y minus 1, y plus 1. So then, when I multiply both sides by y minus 1, y plus 1, that's going to cancel all that. Same thing here, y minus 1, y plus 1. It's being multiplied by all this stuff, right? So it becomes, and I'm going to go ahead and distribute that, y squared plus y plus 3y minus 3 equals 2. So all that stuff canceled. So I got y squared plus 4y. I do want to get, this is a quadratic, I want to get one side equals 0, minus 5 equals 0. That'll factor into y plus 5, y minus 1 equals 0. So it looks like negative 5 and 1 are our proposed solutions. Let's look at the original. The original has y cannot be 1, y minus 1 cannot be 0, so y cannot be 1, so that's thrown out. And then from this one, y cannot be negative 1 either. So the negative 5 is thus fine, right? Y equals negative 5, totally good on that one. It checks out. So the only answer again is y equaling negative 5. Let's go ahead and try this next one here. This we try. Notice the left-hand side, we got to get a common denominator. Again, go ahead and check that. You get that common denominator. And then at this point, I didn't show this, but I did multiply both sides by this common denominator, x minus 3, x plus 3. Both sides I multiplied it by, so that was all gone. And we're just left with the numerators left. And then you check it in the original. X cannot be 3, and x cannot be negative 3. 3 or negative 3 would have been thrown out, but in this case, it looks like we got 43. Now let's continue on here with this next example. Notice I need to get, well, let me go ahead and factor this. We've got 8 over 3 x plus 2 minus 5 x plus 3 equals 12 over x plus 2 x plus 3. So it looks like this needs a 3. It already has an x plus 3. It also needs an x plus 2 here. This one's got a 3, the one on the left, denominator 3, and an x plus 2, but it needs an x plus 3. So it looks like we've got 8x plus 3 minus 3 times 5, 15, x plus 2. This is all over that common denominator, 3x plus 3, x plus 2 equals 12 over x plus 2, x plus 3. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by this 3x plus 2, x plus 3. So that whole thing, and then this side by 3x plus 2, x plus 3. And notice the x plus 2's cancel, the x plus 3's cancel. And then we're left with 8x plus 24 minus 15x minus 30 equals 12 times 3, 36. And then we got 8x minus 15x, I got negative 7x. I got 24 minus 30, I have minus 6 equals 36. Add 6 both sides. Divide by negative 7, so it looks like negative 6. Now I just got to make sure I check the original. X cannot be negative 2, and x plus 3 can't be 0, so x can't be negative 3. And these factors were also negative 2 and negative 3. It could not be. So negative 6 will be fine. You could check that in the original. You'll see that that's a true statement. Similarly for this one, we've got 9 over x plus 2. I'm going to go ahead and factor that's x plus 2 plus 2 over x squared minus 2x plus 4, which does not factor. But the x cubed plus 8 factors. Remember, x cubed plus 8 factors into, that's a cubed plus b cubed. That factors into a plus b. A plus b. B is 2. 2 cubed is a, right? Remember, a cubed plus b cubed factors into a plus b. A squared minus ab plus b squared. So this will be, again, 8 is 2 cubed, right? So a plus b is x plus 2. X squared minus x times 2 plus 2 squared. So that's what this factors into. That's what x cubed plus 8 factors into. X plus 2, x squared minus 2x plus 4. Now let's get a common denominator. This one has, on the left-hand side, I have x plus 2. This one does not have an x plus 2, so I'm going to give it x plus 2, x plus 2. That's my common denominator, x plus 2, x squared minus 2x plus 4. I got to give this one x squared minus 2x plus 4. So now we've got 9 x squared minus 2x plus 4 plus 2 x plus 2 all over this common denominator of x plus 2 x squared minus 2x plus 4. Over here we've got 108 over that same denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by that denominator. And then I'll clear that out. And I'm multiplying all this by that. Right? So that'll go, that'll go. So we're left with 9. I'm going to distribute that. 9x squared minus 18x plus 36 plus 2x plus 4 equals 108. And now we're solving that. I'm going to combine that. So we got 9x squared minus 16x. 36 plus 4 is 40. Equals 108. Get one side equals 0. Minus 108. Minus 108. So I got 9x squared minus 16x. What's that? Minus 68 equals 0. Go ahead and see. Let's see. That'll factor into. So check that. 9x squared plus 18x minus 34x. Minus 68. Yep. So 9x minus 34. Oops, 34 equals 0. Add 34, divide by 9, divide by 9. So 34 ninths. And negative 2. And then we go ahead and check if those are okay in the original. Look at the original. X can't be negative 2. And then you check this x squared minus 2x plus 4, and you'll have no issues with that one either. All right, I'm going to make this a you try it problem. I have you check up to this point. So I've just factored everything so far. Now I'm trying to get a common denominator. Notice on the right hand side, I got to get those two together. They both have an x plus 1. The one on the left has an x plus 4. This one does not have an x plus 4. Now the one on the right hand side has x plus 4, x minus 1, and x plus 3. This one doesn't have x minus 3. So now this becomes 7x, x minus 3, minus 3, x plus 4. But it's all over this common denominator, x plus 4, x minus 1, x minus 3. So we got one fraction equaling one fraction. So I can multiply both sides by the denominator, which is x plus 4, x minus 1, x minus 3. That'll clear all this out. X plus 4, x minus 1, x minus 3. And notice the x plus 4's cancel. Right, so we've got, oh, and that's a, I'm sorry, that's an x. That's an x plus 3. I'm sorry, that should have been a plus 3 right there. Plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3. Sorry about that. So you'll see the x plus 3's cancel right there. So now we've got 5x times x minus 1 equals, I'm going to distribute that, 7x squared plus 21x minus 3x minus 12. So that becomes, let me go this way, 5x squared minus 5x equal 7x squared. I'm going to combine those, plus 18x minus 12. Get everything on one side. We're solving a quadratic, so I got to get it equal to 0 on one side. So let me do that. Let me add the 5x there, add the 5x. So now I have 0 on the left-hand side equals 7x squared minus 5x squared, 2x squared, 18 plus 5 plus 23x minus 12. And then we're going to go ahead and solve that one, or factor that, I'm sorry, 2x, x, I think about factors of 12. Let's see, 1 and 12. Yeah, that'll be plus, that'll be minus. Check that, 2x squared plus 24x minus x minus 12. There it is. So 2x minus 1 equals 0. X plus 12 equals 0. So my proposed solutions are add 1, divide by 2, divide by 2. A half and negative 12. I go ahead and look into the original. I can't have negative 3. I can't have negative 4. Can't have negative 4. Can't have 1. Negative 3, 1. So it looks like these are fine. None of these cause a division by 0. So those are fine. All right, this last one, go ahead and try that, and you can compare answers on this one. All right, go ahead and check your answer on this one. Notice I ended up with 19, and x can't be 2, it can't be 3, can't be 3, can't be 4. So 2, 3, and 4 are the ones that it can't be. So 19 is totally fine on this one. All right, thanks so much for watching. See you next time.